Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, where it will be your goal to survive against 99 other people. And in this video, I'm going to give you 30 tips and tricks to help you win your chicken dinner. First and foremost, check your corners in third person. Can't stress this enough. Align yourself up with a wall, hold right click and look around the corner. You'll be able to see people without putting yourself at risk, and it'll keep you alive, allowing you to get some sweet kills. Next up, changing aiming shoulders. When you're holding right click to aim, you can look over your other shoulders by pressing either Q or E. When you're peeking corners or clearing houses, always use Q and E to look around the corners. Pressing Q or E again will lean your character to the left or to the right. You can use this in third or first person to keep your body behind as much cover as possible. Now, when it comes to looting, a lot of people will look at the items they want to grab and press F to pick them up, and this isn't necessarily bad, but there can be a few issues with trying to pick up specific items, and it can often be quite slow. I like to call this alternate method the tab and grab. Simply walk up to a pile of items, press tab, and boom. You can easily see all of the items on the ground, pick up the ones you need, fast and clean. Not to mention you can move around and look elsewhere while you're picking up items. If you find yourself landing near someone when you jump out of the plane, don't be afraid to fight them in a punch-up. While it won't work out every time, if you land close to your opponent while they're picking up a weapon, you'll be able to take them down using fists alone. But they've got guns, I can hear you say. Well, don't worry. It takes a long time to pick up a weapon, then pick up the ammo, and then load the ammo into the gun. And in that time, if he's not running around, you should be able to punch him out just fine. When you've finished looting the corpse of the guy that dared land next to you, you may find some new attachments on your weapon and wonder, why do I need these things? Well, each item has a small description telling you what they do, such as the compensator. It compensates, reducing recoil, helping you shoot more accurately, but buyer be warned, these will only help you if you actually aim. These attachments will massively help you in first person, but have practically zero effect if you're jumping around like a madman. So if you've got attachments, just be sure to aim with them. Utility belts. Love them or hate them, you should use them. They give an extra 50 capacity to your carrying capacity. For reference, 2 rounds of 5.56 ammo is 1 capacity and grenades are around 10. So if you don't use them, you really are missing out. Also, bonus tip, body armor also gives an extra 50 carrying capacity. When you're free-falling and want to travel to the far-off places of the map, how would you go about it? Usually you can look up in the direction you want to go, press W and you're on your way. But what if that's not enough? Well, there is a way to travel even further. If you open your parachute early, press W, let go, and then repeat, it'll allow you to travel almost 2 kilometers from the plane drop. Just keep this oscillating motion going and you'll be able to travel quite far.
What's 2 kilometers? How are you going to be able to tell how far 2 kilometers is? Just by looking on the map.
Well, the map is thoughtfully broken up into 8 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer squares outlined in yellow. Inside these little yellow squares are even smaller grey squares. These are 100 meters by 100 meters, and you can use these for zeroing or just telling distances. When you're free-falling or just running around trying to survive, there is one thing that you must do and do it often. And that, my friend, is use free look. Pressing Alt will allow you to look around without changing how you're moving. Use this as often as possible to see how many people are landing near you, how many people are running behind you. Just use it as often as possible to look out for threats. Trust me, it will save your life. Vehicles. Use them. There are a total of 5 different vehicles on the island. The UAZ, the buggy, the Dacia, the motorbike, and the boat. Use them to get around, but they all have a few quirks that you should know. The UAZ is the toughest of all 5 vehicles. It can seat up to 5 people and go 85 kilometers per hour when unboosted and 100 when boosted. To boost a car, all you have to do is press shift. You'll know when you've done it right because you'll see flames coming from the car's exhaust and you'll go faster. Next up, the buggy. Can only seat 2 people and it can only travel up to 90 kilometers per hour, but that's boosted or unboosted. The boost on the buggy is more to help it get up to speed. It's got less health than the UAZ and the Dacia, but it will not tip over as easily as the other 2. The Dacia is a good mix between the buggy and the UAZ, more stable than the UAZ but not as stable as the buggy, and it can go faster than both of them. Now on to my favourite land vehicle in the game, the motorcycle. Capable of going over 150 kilometers per hour given a long enough stretch of land. The only issue is, it's dangerous. Like, really, really dangerous. It will kill you if you're not careful with this thing. And lastly, the boat. It can seat 5 people and it can go about 85 kilometers per hour and it can't boost. And it can only go in water. If you see it, avoid it, get a better vehicle, because it's not going to help you out too much. When it comes to vehicles and leaving them specifically, it would be a good idea not to jump out of one at full speed. That will kill you. I found that 20 kilometers per hour is about the fastest you can go to take minimal damage, but sometimes it can be pretty buggy and you'll take more damage than you thought, or you'll take no damage at all and wonder what the hell. Just to be safe, jump out of one when you're fully stopped unless you're trying to be an action hero, but I wouldn't advise it. Now, if you're wanting to sneak up on some unsuspecting soul, or walking around a house wanting to go undetected, it would be a good idea to hold control while you crouch. Moving like this is silent. Much slower, but silent. But be careful not to aim in first person, as this makes it not silent anymore. For whatever reason, it seems to undo the control, and you're no longer control walking, you just sort of crouch walking, and that's really quite loud. Now, if you want sound cues to help you live, then you may want to consider closing doors behind you in crowded areas. Hearing a door open downstairs may just give you enough time to react and come out of a firefight alive. These next few tips are short but sweet. Pressing B will change the firing mode on any weapon that has an alternate firing mode, such as the Vector. Pressing X will put your weapon away, allowing you to move a little bit faster. When you're running from cover to cover in an open field, that little extra speed boost may actually help you live. Pressing equals will set your character to auto-run. Great for covering massive distances. You can change direction with your mouse, but you can set yourself to auto-run, leave your keyboard, go make a drink, though I can't guarantee you'll be alive when you return. Disable your Steam overlay. Trust me, if you're sprinting around wanting to move some weapon attachment, check your inventory. Just pressing Shift and Tab will bring up the Steam overlay and stop everything you're doing, maybe leaving you standing still in an open field doing nothing until you exit the overlay, which on some computers can take a while, so take my advice, disable the Steam overlay, it will help you. When you're in a vehicle, pressing Control and either 1 through 5 will change the seat that you're sat in. 1 will always be the driver's seat, and some vehicles won't have a 3 to 5 because, bikes don't have 5 seats. Sounds can be deceiving. Try to listen out for where the bullet comes from and not where it lands. It can be really hard to try and find out where it comes from. Just stay calm, find cover, and you should be okay. In the early game, the wall isn't that much of a big deal. It doesn't do that much damage, so don't be afraid to go out with a painkiller, an energy drink, and a first aid kit. You can easily last well over 5 minutes. If you use them right, maybe even over 10 minutes. Speaking of healing, bandages. To use them efficiently and effectively, wait until the third tick of healing to start applying the next bandage. This will allow you to get the most healing in the quickest amount of time out of your bandages. Whenever you use an energy drink or a painkiller, you may notice a little bar at the bottom of the screen. To break it down very simply, each bar increases your health regeneration, and the last 2 bars give you a slight speed boost. Once you've used a first aid kit, you can use a single painkiller to bring you up to max health, and an energy drink will bring you to almost max health. Filling the bar completely will heal about 85% of your health, I believe. And during the very end of the game, say the top 10, you want to try and keep your bar as high as possible just in case you take any damage whatsoever. If you come across an LMG in your journeys, try laying down and aiming down sights. You'll find that it's got practically no recoil whatsoever. You can aim very well at some considerable distances while doing this. While you're peeking walls, look out for a little red dot appearing somewhere on the wall. This little red dot indicates you're about to shoot a wall and not actually where you're aiming at, so when you're peeking corners, try and keep an eye out for it. Motorbike acrobatics. These things can be insanely difficult to pull off. You can control the bike in the air by pressing space to lean backwards and control to lean forwards. You can also press Q and E to lean left and right. It'll take a bit of time to master, but when you do, you'll be able to control the bike like a pro. Fuel can only be used when you're inside a vehicle. You can't yet use it as a weapon. Shooting it, throwing grenades at it, it will all do nothing but waste your ammunition and grenades. The smoke from a smoke grenade will last almost 45 seconds. Throw a few of these into clearing to give yourself some time to go from cover to cover. You'll be able to run across without getting hit, hopefully. You can also throw them into a room that an enemy's in to try and block all of his vision of you. Friendly fire exists, and you can easily kill your allies if you're not careful. For example, trying to judge the distance of a melee hit for a video. And lastly, the biggest tip is probably the most simple tip. Take it slow and keep calm. Rushing into situations where you don't know where the enemies are, if there are people around, it'll often get you killed. Take it slow and you'll find that you're getting in the top 10 or winning those chicken dinners much more often. Thanks for watching. I hope that you've learned at least something to help you out in the battlegrounds. Join me next time when, who knows, we might just learn something.